Good afternoon, I'm Mai Rodriguez. Today on Newsfeed at noon, the annual surge in travelers going to provinces to observe the long All Saints' Day holiday begins. We'll check on the situation in major transport hubs and roads with our reporters on the ground. The local government of Batanes appealing for more aid as it deals with the aftermath of 3 powerful storms. In Spain, record flooding kills at least 95 people. And U.S. President Joe Biden and his wife Jill host trick-or-treaters at the White House for the last time. Thanks for joining us. More and more travelers going home to provinces for the Undas holiday are rushing to the Paranaque Integrated Terminal Exchange. The passengers count there is expected to hit its peak today. Let's get updates from Agatha Gregorio, who is on the scene at PITX. Agatha, what's the expected foot traffic over there?
My PITX expects the foot traffic to hit 192,000 or even 200,000 today. But lines are not yet that long at the entrance this early in the day. As of 11 a.m., the foot traffic here is more than 55,000. According to PITX latest update, no trips are fully booked nor canceled yet. They also added supply for trips to Bicol. PITX also expects the foot traffic to decrease by tomorrow, but not by too much, as daily wage earners and those who weren't able to file leaves may come in. Mai?
Agatha, for travelers who will be coming in later, what should they prepare? What shouldn't they bring?
Mai, some items that could be confiscated include sharp objects and butane gas. PITX is also advising against bringing food with strong odors. That's to prevent fellow passengers from experiencing discomfort during rides that could last 12 hours. Back to you, Mai.
Thank you, Agatha Gregorio, reporting from the PITX. The Civil Aviation Authority of the Philippines ready for the influx of travelers this long weekend. Transportation Secretary Jaime Bautista inspected the CAAP's communications, navigation, surveillance, and air traffic management systems. He assures the public all the systems are fully operational to prevent any untoward incidents. Authorities say contingency plans are in place to minimize potential flight disruptions amid bad weather. Over at the country's main gateway, more than 130,000 passengers are expected daily in the next few days. Our reporter Hanati is on the scene at the Ninoy Aquino International Airport. She joins us now for an update. Hannah, what's it like there at the moment?
Mai, compared to yesterday, there are more people here now at NAIA Terminal 3. As part of preparations for Undas, the new NAIA Infra Corporation, or NNIC, is leading efforts to ensure smooth travel. They're working with different agencies to handle the big number of travelers expected this season. NNIC is collaborating with the Manila International Airport Authority's Oplan Biyaheng Ayos Undas 2024 initiative. This teamwork involves tightening security, providing passenger assistance, and managing traffic around the airport. In previous Undas seasons, we'd often see crowded lobbies with some passengers even sitting on the floor. As of this morning, we haven't observed much of that yet. To ease congestion, NNIC has arranged additional parking at Terminal 3 and is working closely with airlines to open check-in counters earlier than usual. They're also coordinating with transport services to make more vehicles available, helping passengers reach the airport faster. NNIC is advising passengers to arrive early to allow ample time for check-in, security, and other airport procedures. The Transportation Department expects over 130,000 passengers per day up to November 4, which is higher than last year's 110,000 daily count. Mai?
Hannah, can you confirm there are no more metal detectors or X-ray machines at the NAIA entrances? Is that correct?
Yes, that's correct, Mai. Even before the Undas season, metal detectors and X-ray machines at the entrances of NAIA Terminals 1 to 4 have been turned off to reduce waiting times. NNIC decided to switch off the machines after complaints about long lines. NNIC assured travelers that security won't be compromised as guards will still check boarding passes and employee IDs, staying alert for any possible threats even without the machines. Back to you, Mai.
Thanks, Hanati, there reporting from the NAIA. Taking a look now at the traffic flow at the North Luzon Expressway or NLEX. Let's bring in Zandro Ochona, who's monitoring developments there. Zandro, go ahead.
Yes, Mai, it's still fast moving here at the North Luzon Expressway. However, NLEX is expecting a 10% increase from the daily average of motor vehicles using the expressway. NLEX Traffic Operations Head Robin Ignacio says they are expecting at least 360,000 vehicles for this year's Undas. On average, 330,000 vehicles ply NLEX,
Zandro?
75 to 78,000 vehicles for SETEX, and around 12,000 for their connector road. As early as 6 a.m. today, they have recorded a surge of vehicles, and they are expecting more vehicles after lunch since government offices are on half-day work today. They have also deployed more personnel to help in their operations and ensure the safety of motorists. They also added more toll assistance to our fast entrance and exits to toll booths. NLEX also released an advisory for motorists to allot more time as the Iglesia ni Cristo will hold an event tomorrow, November 1, at the Philippine Sports Stadium from 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. NLEX suggested taking an alternate route or as high volume of traffic is expected.
Zandro, how is the weather there right now?
Yes, here in Balintawak, the traffic is moving, and it actually rained earlier, but it does not appear to affect the traffic flow. And so far, there are no recorded flooded areas along NLEX. Mai.
Right, thank you, Zandro, for that report. In other news, the local government of Batanes appeals for more relief aid for storm evacuees. Super Typhoon Leon battered Batanes Wednesday as the province still reels from the aftermath of Typhoon Julian and Tropical Storm Christine. Governor Marilu Caico tells BNCs at the forefront, a total of 1,438 victims are now in evacuation centers.
Dahil ito dun sa nasira nung Typhoon Julian kasi may 2,200 plus ang totally and partially damaged sa mga bahay nung Typhoon Julian. At hindi pa sila nakakapagpatayo na matibay na bahay. Dahil po sa Typhoon Christine, dahil po ay wala po kaming mga family food packs ngayon dito dahil po na-distribute na po namin yan nung Typhoon Julian. Yun sana po ang request po namin, pero sabi ng Coast Guard, mayroon na raw ho silang niload na 5,500 family food packs na papunta na sana dito, pero dahil sa Typhoon Christine at ito, hindi ho sila nakatawid dito sa Batanes. Pero ma'am, nag-request na po ako kay Secretary Chudor at saka si Yusek Nepomuceno ng ng C-130 kahit 3 biyahe lang po. Basta mayroon lang kaming maibigay sa bawat pamilya na family food pack pansamantala po.
The national government will send additional relief supplies to Batanes as soon as weather permits. On BNC's at the forefront, NDRRMC spokesperson Director Edgar Posada said they are in close coordination with the Batanes governor.
We are working closely with our Office of Civil Defense Regional Office 2, and sila po ang aming conduit doon sa region sa Batanes. And as sabi ko nga kahapon, we are in close contact personally with Governor Caico, and then we gave her an idea because that was part of the mini press con, and we asked her what she needs, and then sabi nga niya, ma'am, enough pa naman yung kanyang reposition goods, pero ang sabi nga is our commitment is after the rain, the typhoon has passed, we will, as soon as the weather and it's safe for us to fly yung mga additional augmentation ng kanyang food and non-food items, we will do so.
Also heavily affected by Super Typhoon Leon, Cagayan Province. The municipality of Santa Ana was reportedly the hardest hit area. Disaster officials say more than 1,000 families or 3,000 individuals from 16 villages were evacuated. Authorities are still gathering information on the damage caused by Leon, but so far there are no reported casualties. The latest now on the storm's track, Leon has weakened into a typhoon as it nears Taiwan. It was last spotted north of Itbayat, Batanes, packing maximum sustained winds of 175 kilometers per hour with gusts of up to 215 kph. The wind signal over Batanes has been downgraded to number 3. Meanwhile, signal number 2 is up over Babuyan Islands and signal number 1 over parts of northern Luzon. The storm is expected to leave the Philippine area of responsibility tonight or tomorrow morning. We're taking a quick break. Still to come, U.S. federal authorities investigating the destruction of ballots in the states of Washington and Oregon. The latest in America's elections, up next. You're still watching Newsfeed at noon here on BNC. Let's now head to the Manila North Cemetery where security is tight as authorities expect thousands to visit their departed loved ones ahead of the All Saints' Day holiday. Pierre Pastor joins us for the latest. Pierre.
Mai, the weather has been gloomy here at the Manila North Cemetery starting early this morning. Now it's even drizzling a bit. But people continue to flock here to visit their departed loved ones. As of 11:50, crowd estimate is at 26,000. According to authorities, this is less than the usual crowd that comes on the 31st of October. Even so, very tight security measures are in place. There are 5 police assistant desks inside. Each pad has 30 to 35 police personnel manning it. Like always, inspection upon entry of the cemetery is very stringent to ensure harmful equipment like combustible materials be brought inside the premises. Pets and little children are not always allowed inside as well. Earlier, there was an elderly man who was not feeling well and was assisted by people from the Philippine Red Cross. Now, in case weather situation worsens later, authorities assures the public a contingency plan is in place. Here, back to you, Mai.
Thank you, Pierre Pastor, reporting from the Manila North Cemetery. A partial victory, that's how petitioners of the controversial PhilHealth Fund transfer take the temporary restraining order issued by the Supreme Court. While 60 billion pesos have already been transferred to state coffers, 29.9 billion still remain with the state health insurer. Petitioners are urging PhilHealth to spend the rest of the funds on its members now.
The court did not restrain PhilHealth from using it. So now we are asking PhilHealth, use it now. Add more benefits and spend it on the members and the beneficiaries before baka mabawi na naman ulit.
On BNC's On Point, attorney Nery Colmenares also said unspent money from the 60 billion still with the National Treasury should be returned, while those already transferred to unfunded projects should be accounted for. Health advocate Mingita Padilla says they hope transferring PhilHealth funds is banned in the future to be able to fully implement universal health care in the country.
What's important to us, it does not happen again. Because, universal health care, we need to be spending about 500 billion a year to achieve it, okay? And it's not yet being done. If they don't see this as wrong, that means every time they think there's unused funds, pwedeng ilipat.
Yeah.
So
it sets a precedent.
Very dangerous, and we will never achieve universal health care.
begin world news to what is possibly the deadliest flooding to hit Spain. At least 95 people have been killed in floods spawned by torrential rains that have battered Valencia. There, it's said that a year's worth of rain had fallen in just 8 hours on Tuesday. The bad weather caused pileups on highways, submerged farmlands, and sent people scrambling onto their roofs. Rescue operations are still ongoing. North Korean presence in Russia on the spotlight at a UN Security Council meeting. The U.S. has said around 10,000 North Korean forces have already been deployed to eastern Russia, wearing Russian uniforms and carrying Russian equipment, and possibly ready to join the war in Ukraine. The Russian ambassador defends the deployment, saying it does not violate any international law, but Ukraine's allies say otherwise.
It goes without saying that sending the DPRK troops to support Russia's war of aggression against Ukraine is a flagrant violation of international law.
We are closely monitoring this development with serious concern, including the imminent risk that these troops may take direct part in Russia's aggression against Ukraine, which would constitute a grave violation of international law, including the UN Charter.
Besides providing deadly munitions and ballistic missiles to Russia, the DPRK is now deploying thousands of its own troops to Russia, disguised as Russian soldiers. The Republic of Korea provided an early warning on the DPRK's direct involvement in the war.
In addition to aiding Russia's ongoing violation of the UN Charter and a UN member state's sovereignty and territorial integrity, this cooperation between Russia and the DPRK is a direct violation of multiple UN Security Council resolutions.
On to the race for the White House. Republican presidential nominee Donald Trump seizing on President Joe Biden's garbage remark. Biden recently appeared to refer to Trump supporters as garbage in response to a controversial campaign rally of the former president. In an effort to draw attention to Biden's gaffe, Trump boarded a garbage truck upon arriving in Wisconsin. Republicans are accusing Biden of calling Trump supporters garbage, and then the Trump campaign is trying to capitalize on the outrage.
How do you like my garbage truck? This truck is in honor of Kamala and Joe Biden. I think the Democrats have done a very poor job. We're leading in every state. We're leading big, and I think that the comment made by really both of them, because there are really two of them, about being garbage, maybe 250 million people, they shouldn't be talking. That's like deplorable for Hillary. This is the deplorable for Hillary, and I think this is worse actually. For Joe Biden to make that statement, it's really a disgrace.
As for the White House, it insists Biden's garbage comment was not meant to describe Trump supporters.
He does not view Trump supporters or anybody who supports Trump as garbage. That is not what he views. If the president has said this for more than 3 years now, he has said multiple times that he is a president for all. It doesn't matter if you live in a red state. It doesn't matter if you live in a blue state. He has said this himself. I have said it on his behalf. He believes that he's a president for all.
Federal authorities investigating the destruction of ballots in the states of Washington and Oregon. Police believe the 3 suspected arsons at ballot drop boxes in the 2 states are linked. The White House also assuring Americans state officials will provide replacement ballots, calling the destruction unacceptable.
Every eligible American has the right to make their voices heard. And so we are committed to making sure that Americans' right to vote occurs, right? We are committed to that, and we want to make sure that is not undermined. And so we're working with state officials, providing replacement ballots to those affected, and are working to protect against future incidents. That's what state officials are doing, and FBI certainly is going to investigate these incidents.
We're taking another breather. Up ahead, U.S. President Joe Biden and his wife Jill host trick-or-treaters at the White House for the last time. The details when Newsfeed at Noon returns. Stay with us. You're still watching Newsfeed at Noon. The country's national debt balloons to a fresh record high. The debt stood at 15.89 trillion pesos as of September, up by 2.2% from August. Year on year, it grew by 11.4% from 14.27 trillion as of end September. The Bureau of Treasury, however, maintains the debt level remains manageable as majority, or 68.8%, were borrowed from local lenders, while only 31.2% was foreign debt. The government also benefited from favorable foreign exchange adjustments, which reduced the overall external debt by 2.4 billion pesos. Busy day for the Philippine delegation in London, led by Finance Secretary Ralph Recto. The delegation met with top business executives, the British International Investment, and the UK ASEAN Business Council. The goal to make the business growth and success happen in the Philippines. The meetings were held on the sidelines of the Philippine Economic Briefing in London. Among the top companies involved were Actis, Global Infrastructure Partners, Investcorp, and Alexander Mann Solutions. Switching gears now, it's that time of the year when the White House opens its doors to trick-or-treaters. The first couple welcome kids in costumes, with President Joe Biden handing out candies. But his wife, First Lady Jill Biden, surely stood out, dressing up as a panda for the occasion. The longtime educator also handed out books to children, sticking to this year's Halloween theme. And before we go, it's been about a month, but Filipino-American pop star Olivia Rodrigo is not yet done gushing over her Manila stop for her world tour. In an interview with Jimmy Fallon, Olivia said going to the Philippines was really special. She also had nothing but praises for the singing chops of her Filipino fans.
Got to go to the Philippines recently, which is really cool. I'm Filipino and I'd never been.
Oh my God, I would love to go to the Philippines.
Yeah, it was so special and everyone was so great. Such good singers. Like, there's a rumor that they're really good at karaoke. And
yes.
Everyone in the arena, they were like singing in harmony. It was like insane.
Really?
They were singing my lyrics back to me. Perfectly on pitch, perfectly on key. It was awesome.
Olivia visited Manila for the first time early this month for a sold-out show on her Guts World Tour. And those are the news this hour. I'm Mai Rodriguez. Keep it here on BNC, the Billionario News Channel. Good afternoon.